Let us begin our today's discussion after chanting this wonderful sloka. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kavibhiriritam kalmashapaham sravana mangalam srimadaatatam bhuvi grinanti e bhurida janaha. We were discussing about what happens to the Jnani after the realization. The experience of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, that is unique. And he is experiencing in a completely different way. At the last class, when you were discussing about the Brahman, the Sri Ramakrishna said the Brahman is having two different characteristics. One, nirguna, without any qualities, without any epithet. And another is swaguna, with qualities. Now this is the unique way to explain the whole universe. The Vedanta always speaks about the one without any second. And how that one can become so many? We cannot deny that there are so many in this universe, the varieties. Our existence, when we are pinching our own body, we are feeling pain. We cannot deny that. We are living, we are dying. Everything is so very real, and simply a philosopher comes and said it is not. How you explain that? And the Vedanta says, no, the same Brahman is having two different epithets. The Sri Ramakrishna was discussing about that, and the conversation turned to the Vedanta. Let me read from the page 345 of the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna by Swami Nikhilananda. Why should the universe be unreal? Sri Ramakrishna is asking this question. That is a speculation of the philosophers. After realizing God, one sees that it is God Himself who has become the universe and all living beings. The way the Sri Ramakrishna is putting it, Ramanuja is also talking about almost like this, but Sri Ramakrishna is not following the philosophy of Ramanujacharya, which is known as Vishishta Advaita. We are also discussing about this philosophy in our Sunday classes that you know, and most of you know about the philosophy of Ramanuja. This is Vishishta Advaita, special. Advaita means one, there is no two, there is only one, or Dvaita. And Shankaracharya is presenting, the philosopher presenting, that is only one. Now the problem is, how you explain this universe? If the reality is one, how you explain this universe? You are there, you are feeling hungry, you are feeling thirsty. So that is also true. You cannot deny that. To explain that, Shankaracharya introduced Maya. Whatever you see, it is there, but how? As you see the mirage in a desert. It is there, very much there, as long as you are ignorant about its reality. So that is the mirage. When you go to the pond that you saw over there from distance, the water was there, people were there, everything which is supposed to be. But when you reach to that place, in the mirage, you see there is nothing. So how that is possible? Similarly, this world that you see is nothing but that mirage. This is, in one word we can say, in brief we can say, Shankara's view. This is a Maya. Ramanuja, he says, no, it's the getting separation. From the one, this has come, but it is having the same quality. And he is giving the example of the fire and the sparks. And Madhvacharya says completely different, which is mainly followed by the Semitic religions. God is different, we are different. God is pure, we are impure. God is all powerful, we are weak. God is permanent and we are temporary. Whatever we feel right this moment, that has been imposed. And they say this is this. So 3 steps, 3 varieties of Vedanta. So Vedanta has these 3 different schools: Dvaitin, Vedishtadvaitin, Advaitin. Sri Ramakrishna is Advaitin, but his explanation is in a very different way, and that he is mentioning here. The Divine Mother revealed to me in the Kali temple. This is important. One, without realization, just by calculation, speculation, reaching to a truth, to decision. We are not realizing the whole thing. It is not revealing unto us, but we are calculating. And this calculation takes us to a decision that one, everything is one, otherwise you cannot explain all these things. There must be something one, somewhere, from which everything has come. But Sri Ramakrishna is telling, Divine Mother revealed to me in the Kali temple that it was she who had become everything. We must remember the Sri Ramakrishna said, whom you call as Brahman, I call that as Mother. So when he is mentioning as Kali, it is the same Brahman. She showed me that everything was full of consciousness. The image was consciousness, the altar was consciousness, the marble floor was consciousness, all was consciousness. I found everything inside the room soaked, as it were, in bliss. The bliss of Satchidananda. The very nearest expression of the Brahman is Satchit Ananda. Sat means is existence, eternal. Chit means knowledge, eternal. And Ananda, so that is the bliss, eternal. So Satchidananda, that concept of Brahman, it is impossible to express by words because it is beyond time, space and causation, and we all know that you can never explain anything without these 3, time, space and causation. So obviously this Satchidananda, this Brahman is beyond this. I saw a wicked man in front of the Kali temple, but in him also I saw the power of the Divine Mother vibrating. This is oneness. So I was observing this. The Vedanta teaches oneness. There are 2 different ways to see this one. One means without any second. La ilaha illallah. In Islam also they say. It is one and not 2. Of course, they explain in a different way. I am not very much sure about that. But here it says it is one and not 2, or Dvaita. Or means negation, negative. Dvaita means 2. It is only one. Why all the time stress has been given on one? God is one. Why one? Because the moment there is two, there is a fear of clashes. So obviously where there are possibility to get the clashes, it may break. God can never break. God can never die. So obviously there is something one. And the Dvaitavadin, the dualist, they say God is the only one. He has created us, all this. But the Vedanta says no. This here, where you are sitting, is a Vedanta society. It's the association of the people who are following the ideology or the philosophy or the path of Vedanta. And here we are worshipping, we have the images, and that this coming 30th, that is Friday evening, we will be observing a special puja, performing special puja, and also remembering the Swamiji, the last president of the Ramakrishna Modern Mission, Srimad Swami Ishatmananda ji. All rituals. That also we are following. Why? Because that is necessary to prepare your mind for the ultimate one. So here the Brahman can be, that one has been termed as Brahman from the point of view of the objective point of view. That is. So that is Brahman. That has created. Out of that everything has come. And the same Brahman has been termed as Atman from the subjective point of view. So Brahman is there, one, from the objective point of view, and one from the subjective point of view, same Brahman as Atman. Two names have been given to the same thing. And this Atman is present in every being. That is exactly what Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna just explained over here. Right from the images, even the floor, and to the cat, also the gentleman, each and everything is nothing but that. And what is that? Consciousness. That is important. It is the consciousness that is present everywhere. Jagadish Chandra Bose, he proved scientifically that even the plants, the herbs, the trees are having the life. That also we know, we can feel. And sometimes we think that this is not having the life, this wood, the stone and all. But the Hindus, they believe it is also having the life, same consciousness. But it is covered under so many things that it is not manifested at all. So we call it insensient. It is not that sensitive. But the science says no, it is all the same material, made of everything that we see, of the same material. So here we call it consciousness. Ma Sharada once said about Sri Ramakrishna that he is Vedantin, Advaita Vedantin. And he believed in that reality, one without any second, and also the known as truth. So something which is one, which is consciousness, which is all-pervading, eternal, it has been termed as Brahman from the objective point of view. It has been termed as Atman from the subjective point of view. And it has been termed as the truth from the philosophical point of view. And it has been termed as reality also, to explain the original thing. Here Sri Ramakrishna is giving a wonderful example, and Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna's realization of the Brahman and the explanation is unique. We are the mother revealed to be. We just read over here. Then he continued, that was why I fed the cat with the food that I was to be offered, the food that was to be offered to the Divine Mother. That was why I fed a cat with the food that was to be offered to the Divine Mother. Can you imagine? In the Hindu society, a so orthodox society, and anywhere, in any devotion, when you are preparing the food for God, you are supposed to be very, very careful. You should not look at that even. Forget about eating. You should not look at that. And no other people also should not see to that. It is covered. And when you are bringing that from a preparation room to the shrine, sanctum sanctorium, there you must be careful. And someone is sprinkling the holy water Ganges, and then slowly they go. So much of care has been taken. That food which is supposed to be offered, Sri Ramakrishna fed it to the cat. It's not from a humanitarian point of view. Oh, I love cats, so the same thing. Not like that. It's from the realization. Some people, they always talk from out of emotion. Oh, why not that man? What is there? Everything is same. It is emotion. It's not from the emotion. It's from the realization. That cat is nothing but the same consciousness as the Divine Mother in that stone image. It's not the living being. When we go to that same Dakshineshwar, it is the same image standing over there, the image which Sri Ramakrishna worshipped. It's just everything is as it is, but do we feel? That is the thing. Sri Ramakrishna not only felt, he realized, he saw, and it is so vivid, it is so truth. So he said, I fed the cat with the food that to be offered to the Divine Mother. I clearly perceived that the Divine Mother herself has become everything, even the cat. The manager of the temple garden wrote to Mathur Babu saying that I was feeding the cat with the offering intended for the Divine Mother. So obviously, the which we always see, it is from our point of view. And we always feel this a food which is to be offered to God should be very carefully taken to, and before offering to God, no one should touch it. And it is not a human being. He was feeding a cat. So obviously the manager, the poor man, how he will know what is happening over there? He wrote to Mathur Babu, but Mathur was blessed. So he could understand, he could realize. So immediately, but Mathur Babu had insight into the state of my mind. So when the things are happening, the mother herself, the divine power, that also makes people around you in such a way that some people will always understand and always help. That is the divine way. Sometimes people talk about the miracles. This is the miraculous. Can you imagine in those days, the landlords, they were so powerful, and there was no the rule of law. So obviously that landlord could kill that Brahmin. So you have done this wrong, punishment is death. He could do that without hesitation. But instead, that Mathur Babu realized something special in this man, and he protected him. He said, no one is going to harm him. Whatever he wishes, he should do. How? The mind was changed by the power of God. All around people, many people were against, but some of them, they were protecting. The Mathur Babu had insight into the state of my mind. He wrote back to the manager, let him do whatever he likes. You must not say anything to him. Can you imagine? Today we are reading over here only one line as if nothing. But in that situation, if you transport over there and understand that society and the condition, a man is feeding the food that is to be offered to the goddess Kali to a cat. What was the situation? Everything was just normal. Mathur Babu protected Sri Ramakrishna. And Sri Ramakrishna mentioned he had the insight. So you have to understand. So it depends on the people how they will understand Vedanta. The majority of the people, they never like it because they can't understand it even intellectually. The intellectual understanding also so difficult. There is God who gives punishment and also reward. It's very easy to understand because there is a king who gives punishment, also reward. That is an ordinary way of thinking about God. And there is a heaven we do not know, but conception of heaven is if we go, we will be happy. Let his soul go to heaven, we say. But we don't have any conception what is heaven. We simply think that heaven must be a good place. I told that one young lady came and he asked me to read a book. It's a different religion. So I told, but why should I have to read this book? You will go to heaven if you read this book. Then jokingly, I asked her, have you visited heaven? She told, no. Then how do you know that heaven is a good place? Maybe there is no electricity. Maybe there is no water connection. Maybe there will be other problems. So without knowing, how can you promote that place? You better go, visit, get satisfaction, come back, then announce like Jesus. So this is the way Vedanta says you have to realize. And when? Ye now, right now. Ihached abedit ata satyamasti. Otherwise, it is just like committing suicide. This moment, here, in this very life, you have to realize that you are nothing but the consciousness, Brahman, all pervading. All that you see and think that you or me or he or she is nothing but mistake. It's all mistakes that we are doing. That is called Vedantic conception, and that Sri Ramakrishna is telling. After realizing God, one sees all these all right, that it is He, H capital, who has become the universe. Here, Sri Ramakrishna's Vedantic approach is more humanistic. And traditional Vedantic approach make you completely segregated. So all this is Maya, illusion, wrong. So I am not going to be bound by this Maya, thinking that hundreds and hundreds of years, thousands and thousands of monks, they went into the caves, secluded places in the jungle, and they meditated. Maybe that they were enlightened, only one or two souls. But what about the society? The society which helped them to survive. When they were meditating, a group of people were carrying water for them to drink, food for them to eat, clothing for them to survive. What about them? Have I done anything for them? No. Even when Lord Buddha said this Jagat Dukkhamaya, this whole universe is nothing but full of miseries, you have to explain for those who have not felt like that, it is not for them. But it is just for each and every one. So the ordinary people, not understanding this, I am very happy. Why this man, these people are telling this Jagat is Mitta? Why they are telling that it is full of misery? I don't understand. But if I don't say along with them, then they will level me as a sinner. Very better to tell like that. Hypocrisy, cretin. The hypocrisy, I don't feel, but I say in the society. So Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna made it completely different way. And he said, Mon, Mukh, Akara. Whatever you are thinking and whatever you are telling, that must be the same. And that is the sadhana, that is the austerity. Never ever be hypocrite. Swami Vivekananda afterwards said, I can stand everything but hypocrisy. When the Mathur Babu came, as he was, a drunkard man, and with the drunkard friends, Sri Ramakrishna never hesitated to talk to them, to welcome them, to sit with them, because they were not hypocrites. They were not hiding anything. What they were, they came as it is. But a person came covered with a wrapper which shows that he is a holy man. In our country there is a different type of wrappers are there. If you are putting on that, that means you are declaring that I am a holy man. He came like that, and with other symbols also, as the Hindus they do. But Sri Ramakrishna couldn't touch the water from his hand that he was offering to Sri Ramakrishna. Couldn't take that offer. He couldn't drink that offer. Water. Why? Hypocrite. Afterwards, the young Narendranath, who inquired, he found that the man apparently shows that he is a religious man, but he is a corrupt man, characterless man. So the hypocrisy, Sri Ramakrishna is telling, you need not to bother about that. You say, yeah, I love this. What to do? When my knowledge will come, then it will come. The children do not understand the philosophy of the religion, so they are not very much attentive. They love play, they love game, they love reading, they love go here and there. It's okay for them. So we allow. Then afterwards, when they are mature, then they understand. But we bring them to make them hear, because in the subconscious mind, all this thing will be there. And when they grow up and they can understand, then this thing will surface in their mind and they say, yes, that was correct. That guidance will come. But a matured man, so that after realizing God, what happens? One sees all these all right, that it is He who has become the universe. Living beings, 24 cosmic principles, that is another philosophy. They say all these things that we see is a manifestation of 24 cosmic principles. But what remains when God completely effaced the ego, that cannot be described in words. Here he hinted about that. As long as the stress of ego is there, so Saguna Brahma, Brahman, that consciousness with attributes. But when there is no ego, I become you. I and my Father in heaven are one. And there is no God then, because the Father, the God, is me. I am one. Look at this. From the Dvaitic point of view, the Jesus who said God is there in the heaven and I am over here, but when as a son I am emerging and becoming as Father, Father becoming Son, I and my Father in heaven are one, not two. That condition, no one can explain what remains. A man sees a thing in one way through reasoning, philosophy. There are 6 systems of Indian philosophy we are studying in the Sundays. The 6 systems, in 6 different views, they are explaining the same truth. What is that? Who is the creator? That is the first question. And all the researches are to get the answer. Who is the creator? Then second question is, what is this universe? Who am I? Third is, what is the relation between the creator and the creation? So these three questions on the basis of this all philosophy, but the approaches are different. So this is, a man sees a thing in one way through reasoning, and in another way, different way, when God himself shows it to him. That is the revelation, that is the realization, that is a completely different. You don't need any reasoning. You know this is this. Sri Ramakrishna, in his amicable way, he said, a person heard about milk. Someone explained, milk is white in color, milk is liquid, milk is like this, like that. He too knows about milk. If you ask, you can write, milk is like this. Maybe through his imagination he can draw a picture to some extent about that. Some people have seen it and they are more correct in explaining. But those who have drank that milk and become strong benefit they have got out of that milk, they are completely different. So that is the realization, and the stress has been given again and again on the realization. You listen, good, that is the first step. Then you have to go alone in a secluded place, quietly concentrate your mind what you have listened, and then assimilate that idea in your character, in your behavior, in your thoughts regularly. Assimilation, then the revelation, the realization will come, and you can say it is truth. So that he is telling Jnana and Vijnana in the words of Sri Ramakrishna. The Jnani and Vijnani. Jnani is philosopher. He has a complete idea, but on the basis of the speculation, reasoning, and the realization is completely different. And in the language of Sri Ramakrishna, altogether different the way when God himself shows it to him. Totapuri, Sri Ramakrishna's one of the gurus. Sri Ramakrishna was having different gurus and from the different sect. Totapuri was the Vedantin. And he reached to that point when one can go to Nirvikalpa. And then he was thinking, and that was correct in his way, that everything that we see is nothing but the Maya, because that is the process he followed. Neti, neti, not this, not this. Following that, this cannot be God. Why? Because this is temporary. That cannot be God. Why? That is temporary. I cannot be God. This body cannot be God because the body is temporary. So if this way it was going, no iti, not this, not this, he reached to that, that was his knowledge. But he could not come down to that truth that everything that we see is the manifestation of the same knowledge. So the Brahman he realized, but he was lacking to understand the Atman in a subjective way. In an objective way, it was all right for him. And he used to cut jokes. When Sri Ramakrishna, his wonderful disciple, the moment he gave the mantra and asked him to meditate, immediately he reached to that Nirvikalpa stage for 3 days and 3 nights. And the Guru himself was telling what this miracle, how it is possible to reach to this stage. It took 40 years of my practice, austerity. And this boy sitting over here, just I told, and he reached to that as if in no effort. 3 days and 3 nights he was in there. But after coming back, the same wonderful disciple about whom his Guru Totapuri was very proud of was singing and taking the name of Goddess Kali. That Guru didn't like. What is it? After realization of Brahman, why you are taking the name of God? Why Mother, Ma Kali? And in his way, in UP, in the northern part of India, when they prepare the food, the roti, the bread, handmade bread, they always make it on both the palms. And in Hindi he said, "Kyun roti thokte ho?" When he was clapping both the hands and taking the name of God, "Kyun roti thokte ho?" Why you are trying to prepare the roti, the handmade bread? Sri Ramakrishna, why you are talking like this? My mother is also true. Mother, that stone image over there, you still think? So the difference between the disciple and the guru. And one day it so happened when the guru was meditating, and suddenly the stomach pain, it was so acute. You know, those who have read the biography, then that sannyasi thought, it is not going to be cured. And it is so painful. And if I am here, maybe I will faint, and the other people will be troubled to take me to the doctor and all these things. Let me go, because my purpose of this life is over. I have realized Brahman. I need not to bother about anything. So what is the purpose of this body? It's like a vehicle. I was supposed to reach a destination I have already reached. So I can throw this vehicle out. I don't need that vehicle anymore. So let me destroy this vehicle. So he went into the water, Ganga water. Again another miracle, the power of the Maya. The same Brahman with attributes working. There was no water at all. In the whole Ganga, when the water was full, supposed to be full, there was nothing, knee-deep water. And the huge man, the big man, he could not get sufficient water to drown and kill himself. Then he was shouting, standing over there itself, "What is this miracle?" And he found that his disciple, Sri Ramakrishna, standing on the bank, clapping his hand, and he was telling, "It is okay for you. You should now accept that there is power of God. And that is Saguna Brahma. And that is acting." He learned it. The similar way, another guru, Bhairavi Brahmani, her approach was from the devotion. She never liked the Advaita, the God is one without form. She never liked. And she tried to pursue Sri Ramakrishna. Don't think about that. Sri Ramakrishna also taught her, made the complete. So one should understand the both aspects of the same Brahman. That is the approach of Sri Ramakrishna. He is telling the whole thing in a nutshell is. He was talking about the Brahman with and without epithets. Brahman from the point of view of the objective, the Brahman as Atman from the point of view of the subjective. Then here it says the whole thing in a nutshell is that one must develop ecstatic love for Satchidananda. The word that he is choosing, the ecstatic love for God, he didn't say. Many places he said God, many places he said Mother. Here he is mentioning Satchidananda. Why Satchidananda? Because the closest expression of Brahman that we know. So he said the whole thing in a nutshell is that one must, and there is no other way. And there is no other way to understand the truth, the reality, the Brahman, the Atman, without the ecstatic love for Satchidananda. You will wonder, Shankaracharya, he was the propounder of the Advaitic Vedanta. When he is giving the definition of devotion, he is telling this: love for your own self is devotion. What is devotion? The love for God. And many others are telling in different way, but according to Shankaracharya, love for your own self is devotion. And that self is not, as we think, this ego. No, there is a pure self for which we are surviving. So that Satchid Ananda Swarupa. How to understand him? Sat, Chit and Ananda. What kind of love? He is asking. How should one love God? That you have to forget. And he is quoting Gaurima. Gaurima was a great lady in those days. She was very beautiful, but she refused to marry, because in those days girls were married when they are very young. But she refused to marry. And she went all over the India. And afterwards she came back. Sri Ramakrishna used to like her so much. This Gaurima. The Gauri used to say that one must become like Sita to understand Rama. How simple way to make. To understand Rama, one must be like Sita. And then, like Bhagavati, the Divine Mother, to understand Bhagavan Shiva, one must practice austerity as Bhagavati did in order to attain Shiva. One must cultivate the attitude of Prakriti in order to realize Purusha, the attitude of a friend, a husband, or a mother. These are the approaches to understand the truth. I saw Sita in a vision, Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning. He saw the Sita. I found that her entire mind was concentrated on Rama. She was totally indifferent to everything. Her hands, her feet, her clothes, her jewels. It seemed that Rama had filled every bit of her life, and she could not remain alive without Rama. Many people now, from the just ordinary point of view, they will be criticized Ramachandra. So why the Ramachandra banished her wife? All this they will say. But they do not understand that God has come with his own power, a part of the God himself, in the form of a lady, as a mother. And then that mother, that lady who is playing now as the role of wife, how 24 hours, every moment of her life, concentrating on God. Sita and Radha. So why they are there? Only to teach like this. But the God is not giving everything good to her, banishing her. And she is in great difficulty inside the jungle. Even then there is no complaint, not a single word of complaint. That is the type of love. When we go to some friends, to our relatives' house, if they are welcoming us, they are good. And we also welcome them back to our place. Please visit us, return visit. This goes on. If that person is not behaving well with you, how do you feel? I am not going to go again, not going to keep any relation with them. You always do like that. Many of the people, they go to temple, and if they are not properly behaved by some of the people in that ashrama or in the temple, they stop going over there. One gentleman, he was very fond of going to a temple. Then one day he came and he said, I am not going to visit that temple anymore. Why? So and so they behaved in this manner. I felt insulted, so I am not going to visit there. I told him, when you first came to that temple, did you know those people? No. Why then you came? Because of the God. Has the God been removed from the temple? No. Then what is the problem now to go to God? That is the question. In between you develop some relation with the people, and he started feeling the ego. So again and again I remind our devotees, and while reminding, I remind myself that we are at the feet of this God, Sri Ramakrishna. We bring so many things, we do so many things, but for him. When you were coming over here, you were coming to Sri Ramakrishna. One lady I really like. She never liked me. I was a little bit harsh. But even then, I like her and appreciate her. One day, particular day, she is surely coming sitting, meditating and going away. She never liked to touch our feet or offer pranam or talk, but that doesn't matter at all. She didn't stop coming because I am not talking with her. I have no objection to talk because she didn't like, but it is okay. Whenever I see her, I feel joy because this is the true devotee. Never cares for the people who are there and looking after the temple. She had a great love and she is following her routine, coming, sitting, praying, going away without disturbing anyone. So that is the attitude. It should be, I love my God, whether the people around over there do not like me or not. And there is no objection to come. Anyone can come. So door is always open. Of course, always means not in the night. So this is the time is there. From morning 8 to evening 8, all the time it is open. Anytime you can come, you can sit, you can meditate. There is no problem. At night we cannot keep it open because of the security reason, and we have to give, we treat the God as the human being, so naturally he also wants to take rest. We feel like that. So this is what Sri Ramakrishna is telling. The whole thing is this in a nutshell. One must develop ecstatic love for the Satchidananda and love as the love was having in Sita for Rama, etc. And he said, it was mad, Sita was mad with love for Rama. Master Mahasaya, who noted the conversation, he mentioned that. And he mentioned over here as M. In Bengali it is Ma. Bengali is the original. He never wanted to say that it is me. So always hiding, secretly mentioning. And Master, that means Sri Ramakrishna said, mad. That is the word. In a Bengali, as a beautiful song is there, it's actually a prayer song, and a great sage, he is writing, composing that, Amai dema pagol kore. Please make me mad, O my mother, the divine mother. There are so many different people are there, they are mad for so many other things. Name, fame, power and all this. I want to become mad for you. So this always this conception, mad, that is the word. Why mad? The mad people, they never think anything else. Only one thought is going on, brooding in their mind. They cannot come out of that thought. It is like that. I want to see my mother, the divine mother, the Kali, the Durga, like that constantly, everywhere, every moment. So that madness, one must become mad with love in order to realize God. One must call on God with a longing heart. So these are the conditions to realize God. And then he said, a man gets rid of all desires when he has perfect knowledge. This is the yardstick. How we will know that this man has become a perfect man, realized God, realized soul? That he says over here, a man gets rid of all desires. When he has perfect knowledge, he becomes like a child. Sages like Dattatreya and Jadabharata had the nature of a child. Why the child? Because they don't have any bondage. Panchavarsha bala bhava. As if a child of 5 years old, they don't have anything. I want that, I want that. Moment you give, this play some, but then again they will throw it and go away. No attachment. That simplicity. This God realized person also become like that. One of our great Swami and is Vivekananda ji Swami Maharaj, and he was an engineer and he was in the construction of the Belur Math temple. He was just like a child. He was a great man. He was the president of Belur Math, But whenever he used to find somebody is carrying a pen, hey, I want that. Will you please give me that pen? He had so many pens and he was so fond of keeping them here, there, everywhere. Sometimes I find that our Bharadanandaji Maharaj, he is also keeping the whole pocket is full with minimum 10 pens, different varieties. He uses one or sometimes he never. But he likes to keep those things. And I see him and immediately I remember our Vivekanandaji. He was so fond of that. Then afterwards, no problem. No attachment. But the fun like the child, the Panchavarsha Bala Bhava. Yes, the Jnani gets rid of all desire. If any is left, it does not hurt him. At the touch of the philosopher's stone, the sword is transformed into gold. Then that sword cannot do any killing. Just so, the Jnani keeps only a semblance of anger and passion. They are anger and passion only in the name and cannot injure him. So it's very difficult to understand a Jnani. Apparently, they are very peculiar. But inside, they're full of love and knowledge. So that's why the description. Sri Ramakrishna said, when a man is perfect, how I will know that he is perfect? When a man has realized God, realized Brahman, realized Atman, realized the truth, the ultimate, how will know? As because he is having these and that, apparently nothing. The only way you can understand that he is having no desire. That is the way we can understand. That's the only yardstick to understand a realized soul. This question was asked by Arjuna to Sri Krishna. In the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, when God was giving him the description of the jnana and all, ultimately he asked, Prajohati yada kama. In reply, God said, how I will know who has realized God, who is a Jnani? Then in reply, the 55th sloka of the second chapter, there also Sri Krishna said the same thing much afterwards Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning. And Krishna said in a beautiful way in the Bhagavad Gita, Prajahati, Jahal Lakshana they call. Jahati means giving up, give away. Prajahati means prakrishta, prakrishta rupena tyagena. That's the perfect way of giving thing, everything. What is that? Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan. Look at the word that has been used. Apparently I give up everything. Manogatan, from the mind. I am not having any desire in the mind. Nothing is there. And how? Perfectly, 100% it has been done. Prajahati, I have given up. Now I am taking some special type of food. One gentleman is helping me to cure my body and all this. And he said, you should take this. This is the timing, etc., etc. Without his knowledge, sometime I take something which I like. Of course, in small portion, and then I feel bad. Oh, I am cheating him, because he is sure that this is going to give a good result, and that is good for me too. He wants to see the result, and I am going to be cured, but still I feel a little 1 spoon, and our devotees are also provoking me. 1 spoon is nothing is going to happen to you. I said, Acha, you said, okay. So like this, no desire at all. Nothing should be there. So prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan. Then what happens? I have given up. But how? The positive. Atman naiva atmana tushta sthita pragyasya dochyate. It goes on and on. sthita prajna, whose mind is settled. So it says sthita prajna, the prajahati jada kaman. Thank you, friends. And Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning one must assimilate that. This is the knowledge that Sri Ramakrishna gave today. We must assimilate. What is that? Why the assimilation? There is only one truth. And that truth, from the objective point of view, is known as Brahman. From the subjective point of view, known as Atman. And the same truth, whatever we see, is nothing but the manifestation of the same thing. And that is the consciousness in different forms. And that is the reason Swami Vivekananda said, why don't you go and serve the people, the poor, the downtrodden, the illiterate? If you are going on reading the Vedanta and doing nothing, what is that to you? He never liked it. Vivekananda's was practical Vedanta. One line that you have read, half a line, Shankaracharya said, Brahma Satya Jagan Mitta. Okay. And if it is that, this Jagat, that is very much present before me, just apparently it is Mittha, but this very moment I don't see that. Why not you go and serve the God in that Jagat? Ishavashyam idam sarvam we read, then we say, don't touch me, don't come to me, you are different, you are different. Is this the Mukhari of Vedanta? A Vedantin must be broad-minded, open-hearted, and very knowledgeable, and then accept everything. So that what Sri Ramakrishna wants to teach us in this way. This Vedanta, from the point of view of Sri Ramakrishna, is an excellent, and that helps to develop the human society. The Vedanta, in a traditional way, makes us completely segregated. All this is Maya. So let us go in a secluded place and only concentrate on that. But Vedanta of Sri Ramakrishna makes us as the servant or the worshippers of the divine in living being, completely different. That is the reason the conflicts is always there among the monks even. The traditional way of understanding and Sri Ramakrishna way of understanding. Swami Vivekananda, the best exponent of Sri Ramakrishna, he said, you have to study all the scriptures from the light of Sri Ramakrishna. So I am going to give a talk in one of the place in our ashrama, and there the subject is Vedanta and humanism. Look at it. This Vedanta of Sri Ramakrishna is meant for humanism, for the benefit of the human society. Thank you very much for coming. Please come on Friday evening also. Let us complete with this prayer. Niranjanam nityam anantarupam bhaktanukampa dhrita vigraham vai Ishavataram Parameshamidyam Tam Ramakrishnam Shirasa Namamaha. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat.